All right, thanks everyone for joining tonight's post-match media availability. We'll go right into questions, and we'll start with Ben Wright. You can ask two if you have them, and if you have questions, please use the hand raise function on the Zoom.
Yeah, BJ, I'm curious for your overall thoughts on the game. And I guess in the second half, it felt like there were maybe a few passages of play where you guys were able to move the ball a little bit better, excuse me, and create some chances. Kind of how do you feel like you guys grew into that second half?
Yeah, I think overall, when we talk about playing a really good FC Dallas game, FC Dallas team on the road, there's a lot of things that we can be proud of tonight. Um, I thought the way that we were able to build up, the way that we were able to sort of get into the final third was good. The way the back line played, winning duels, winning second balls, competing at a high intensity. I thought we're all positives, and then obviously the way we close out the game after unfortunately going down a man, I think that's another positive. So overall, really a lot to be proud of. But at the same time, I think when we look back at the game, we're going to think, okay, maybe there's some better decision making we can make in the final third, and there's probably some better execution on some of the finishing. And again, as I always say, if we weren't creating some chances, I'd be more concerned than I think we had some of the chances. And, I just think we have to clean that up. And it's something that we can continue to get better at.
Obviously, I think two chances for Christian kind of from the right side of the box, and then maybe another look from Patrick where he had possibly an opportunity to shoot and opted for the pass, maybe kind of opposite sides of the same coin. How do you kind of try to find the right balance between wanting to get that extra pass and set up a really good chance, but also kind of when you have a chance taking it in the box?
I think it's just about continuing to you know grow and gel with the group in sort of in these actions. It's still early in the season. It's game two of MLS. So for us, I think that it's just about, when we're challenged with different things tonight, they're in a back five. It's just kind of, making better decisions. That's all. And I think, we'll continue to work on that. We'll continue to analyze it. But the commitment overall from the group tonight to attack, get numbers in the attack, I thought was really positive.
Jacob?
Yeah, BJ, this, I believe, if I'm correct, was the first time in your last 17 games against an MLS opponent dating back to last July that you have shut out an MLS opponent. I guess what stood out to you about the defense as a whole?
I thought individually there were some great moments of defending. And then collectively, when you include Brian in that group, it was not easy for them tonight, right? Like a lot of different talented attacking players, and I thought they were up for the challenge, whether it was winning aerial duels, winning ground duels, and then being able to kind of quickly transition their mind to being calm on the ball and controlling the buildup. So, a really, I would say, again, a lot to be positive, specifically to the back line and Brian and goal.
Yeah. And, coming off, first three games of the season where you outscore opponents 11-1, you scored 9 games in your last two games, and to go on the road and, go on the road to play in a scoreless tie against a team like FC Dallas. What does it do for the team to, have a challenge like this after, three games where, things seem to come a lot easier?
I think for us, Dallas challenged us in a lot of ways, and it's game two of MLS, so we're going to be able to take these learning experiences from tonight, and bring them back into training next week, and again just try to be a little bit better each and every game in different situations, and continue to improve throughout the season. We're certainly nowhere near being a final product, but there's a lot of positives to build on.
Claudia? You're muted, I think, Claudio. So we'll go to Nick and come back to you. Go ahead, Nick.
BJ, obviously you spoke on a little bit about the just dynamic of the game, but overall with the three midfielders having Corcoran, Tagseth, and Yazbek to start, just your overall assessment on just how they played together as a whole and just the opportunities that they saw tonight.
Yeah, it was kind of one of the first times I think we may have done that, and I thought they did a really good job. I thought each one of their qualities kind of came out. I thought Matt did a good job sitting in the middle of the field, getting the ball left and right, and also trying to open it up. And I thought you saw, especially in the first half, like the deep runs from Eddie and Patrick were really opening up the game for us. And I thought, that was some positive moments. And then defensively, like, those guys, they're the engine, right? They cover so much ground. They cover so many second balls and duels. So collectively, again, another group to be positive on and continue to build and grow.
And then Daniel Lovitz had once again, you ask a lot out of your defenders, and Daniel Lovitz is one of those guys. Tonight, having a key save in the second half. Just your overall thoughts on his game and going forward this season.
Yeah, you're right. We asked those guys to get out wide and defend one-on-one and deny crossing opportunities, and and then they have to kind of duel inside the penalty box. I thought he did a really good job shutting down, again, a very talented attacking team from Dallas. And then also was really responsible when he was the weak side defender on the back post to win aerial duels, again, against, guys like Musa and Farrington who are very good, very good finding space in the air, finding space in the box and good in the air.
Go ahead, Claudio.
BJ, how much of the issue with the Sam was part of the decision to actually start? If I'm wrong, just forgive me, but Corcoran, Jaspic, and Taxida in the same game.
I mean, I don't think it had a major impact on it. Obviously, when you lose a player of Sam's caliber, some things do have to change, and maybe the way you structure the team. But I think having those three on the field was something that we were sort of looking towards doing, prior to the illness of Sam.
And just curious about Christian Espinosa. He had two good chances there. I mean, probably 9 out of 10 times he scored both of those goals. Any thoughts about that?
No, I don't need to talk to Christian. He knows that he should have finished them. That's no problem. We're going to keep getting him into good goal scoring chances. And listen, he's going to make many more of those this season if we can continue to get him in that good of a spot.
Go ahead, Miller.
Yeah, BJ, just on Matt, obviously he ended up getting a red card there at the end. What did you say to him? Have you talked to him? And did you see those two challenges as 2 yellows?
I mean, I only saw him live. I haven't looked at him back. Listen, these things happen in games. We'll debrief always as we do with the whole team and individuals, and but it comes from playing hard, and that's what we want out of our team, is a team that plays hard, and we can learn and grow from all these moments.
And then it looks like tonight you guys seem to go up the right side more than the left side, at least in the first half. And where the last game against New England, we saw Warren kind of be a little bit more reliant on the left side. Was there a specific reason for that? Is that something Dallas did, or was there a technical or tactical thing there?
No, we were the way that we wanted to build up was a bit symmetrical, but Dallas kind of shut down our left side a little bit. On our left, their right, the wing back, Johansson he was already out, so there was really very difficult ways to get down that side early. I think we probably missed a few opportunities to switch the ball from right to left. But yeah, I think Dallas did a really good job of kind of locking us to a side. But at the same time, I still thought we found creative ways to break the pressure.
All right, thanks guys. We'll be right back.